Okay. Snake, good. I try to tell him, Let's get it. I got you on board. Yes.
Hey now, friends, welcome back. First of all, if you're not sure what I was talking about when I said TikTok polygel hack thing stuff, this is what I was talking about. Here's a few examples. While I'm showing you that, if you're new here, my name is Kim. I'm a cosmetologist and have been one for 16 years, going on 17. Oh my God. But I'm not a nail tech. I didn't take those extra classes. Didn't venture into that world. But when they came out with like polygel and whatnot, I had to get into it. So I'm just a DIY nail gal, and I had trouble finding things, videos and stuff online for, you know, what I needed to know. So I thought, as a DIY nail gal, I'm going to try and make videos on things that I had trouble finding. But, you know, I do, you know, some tutorials, some unboxings, and just some fun stuff here and there. That's the plan. That's the jam. If that sounds good to you, please go ahead, hit subscribe. So in most videos, I usually use one kit that can be purchased either, you know, on a website or a lot of times off Amazon. This time I'm using a kit from a company called 𝘬𝘮𝘄. I had never heard of them. They reached out to me. They sent me this kit. That's all there is to this video. They sent me the kit and I'm going to try it out. So that's what I'm showing you here, what comes in this particular kit. They also sent me a code that you guys can use for, I think it was 15% off. All the information will be down in the description box. I will give you the link to their website. It is also available on Amazon. Of course, the code doesn't work on Amazon, but I will go ahead and give you both links and all the information down there. So I think I'm going to use these two colors, this pretty pink here and this pink glitter, and get started by putting on a little bit of Dehydrator. That's how I always start out. My hands are super dry, but I want my nails to stay. So dehydrating them is always the first step, even though I'm going to file them here in a minute. I had lotion on my hands, so I wanted to go ahead and get that off my nails just so there's, I don't know, it's a thing in my head. I don't want lotion in my file. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I am going to be using dual forms in this video, so I'm going to go ahead and take my nails down, you know, to the nub. We're going to make them nubby. We're taking them down, 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 because we are using dual forms. And if you're new here, like maybe you're not new here. It's no secret. I don't like dual forms. I don't like them. I know they're made to be beginner friendly. I don't think they are. Like I would much rather sculpt out a nail. I'm just telling you right now. I know with dual forms, you pop them off and the surface is already perfectly smooth, but there's so much about the nail structure and everything, the shape, all of it. So much that's missing. I'd much rather sculpt, and then, you know, if your nails are lumpy, you can fix that with filing. As a matter of fact, I'll put a video up and you can check that out, and hopefully it'll help you, you know, if that's a problem you're having, which if you're using polygel, you probably are, because it's impossible to get polygel perfectly smooth when you apply it. Now, this is primer right here. If you really want your nails to stay, you can use some primer. I'm not going to, because I need to make some videos, even though they're kind of few and far between. I need to make videos. I don't want them to stay forever and a day. I want them to be pretty easy to take off, so I'm not. So these dual forms, awesome little thing. They come in stiletto and your typical round shape, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing now is trying to find, you know, ones that fit all my nails. And I'm struggling with the stiletto. These are ones which a number 1 can sometimes fit my thumb, sometimes not. And these just aren't working. So they're way too small. The numbers are right there on the little round tab. This is a 0. And honestly, the size isn't any different than the one, to be perfectly honest. And I'm wanting to use these stiletto forms, but unfortunately, for the thumb, I'm going to have to use the round one right here. And this one works for my index and my ring fingers, so I'm just going to have the one out because they're reusable. And yeah, I'm going to use the stilettos on the other fingers. So after I've prepped, the next step I want to do is base coat before I apply any polygel or anything like that. So I'm going to put a thin layer of base coat on, cure this for the 60 seconds or whatever system you're using, whatever it requires. Go ahead, give it a full cure.
Stay tuned.
Oopsie daisy. Here's how the pinky turned out. It's not bad for, you know, a dual form nail, but my bad. I apologize. Let's move on to this next one so we can show you. Let's cure that. And here we go. So the way this goes is I'm going to do a glitter ombre. Go figure! A glitter ombre? Me? So this is how we're going to do it. And I press down pretty hard because, to be honest, well, it's a combination of two things. First of all, my room that I use for like my nail room, it's super cold up here. I left the air conditioner on and it's already chilly outside, so the polygel's pretty firm. And then these ones that are really packed with glitter, I've never used one that isn't really firm and sticky on top of that. So I give it a good press, and it comes out the sides. Like, that's one thing I hate about polygel, which, yeah, I guess, you know, if you, yeah, you can avoid that. You can be better at it and it won't happen, but it happens to me. I hate it. I don't have the little clips to hold my nail on while I flip it over and smooth the underside out. Look, we're going with it, okay? Yeah, and then I'm going to clean up around my cuticle. And obviously this one, a lot of the pink really shoved up through the glitter part. It looks a hot mess. So that was kind of a fail, this one. See that? A lot of the pink. So let's move on to the middle finger. I start to get a bit better here. It still comes out the sides, but not so much of the plain pink shoves up through the glitter part. So I don't know, it gets better. I mean, this is the kind of thing that just takes practice. I mean, that's all there is to it. And again, I don't like dual forms. When I use them, it bugs me. I get irritated and I just want to get it over with. Sculpting, I enjoy. I don't care if it's using tips or sculpting forms. Either way, I enjoy sculpting. I don't enjoy the filing that it requires, but I don't know, you know. Again, and you know, look, this thing about my camera, it's focused on my thumb. Oh, speaking of the right hand, please ignore those nails. That's another polygel kit that I'll be doing a video on soon. I like to, you know, put it on, try it out. That way I can tell you how it is once the video comes around. I'm not a fan of this particular polygel. I mean, I am in some ways. I'm not in others. Anyways, I'm getting off. I'm on a whole other tangent. Let's get back to this. Okay, here we are. So see, that glitter turned out better, but there's chunks missing. I don't like that. That's annoying. It's going to need fixed. And I do, here in a bit, show you how you can fix that if you've got sculpting forms. But you don't have to take the nail off. I'm just going to show you. But anyways, we're just, look. I'm going to move along. It's not going to take long through this finger and the thumb. And I will catch up with you in a minute. So here are these 4 nails with the Tik Tok POLYGEL nail hack. They're obviously going to need some filing work, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and do the thumb. This is after this sat for 1, maybe 2 minutes because I stopped to take a picture for the thumbnail, and it leveled out really nicely. I just used my brush to kind of shove it all into the middle there, fix it up a bit. That way so much wasn't popping out the sides, but it still was. And I think that's kind of the key to not having it pop out the sides. Maybe don't use as much as I did, but then if you don't, your nail's going to be super thin. But there's that. And then, you know, make sure it's all focused right in the middle. If you want to use this hack, that is. This polygel nail hack. I don't know, dude. I would just do it normal. I would sculpt. I'm telling you, if you ain't tried it, sis, you need to. And it's crooked. Wait, did we fix it? Did I already fix it? Look, I'm doing a voiceover, so... Oh, there it is. It's crooked. Yep, let's fix that. Scooch it over. Press it down one more time. And pop it in the lamp. And here we are. So we're left with this, and I'm going to have to shape it, which that's fine. But it turned out fairly well. You can kind of see my natural nail through part of it and the undersides. Like, look at this chunk. That's missing. These need fixed. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Again, if you've got sculpting forms. If you like using Doyle forms, but you got some sculpting forms and your nails just ain't looking right, I'm going to show you. We're going to show you how to fix these. So I've cleaned off the sticky layer. And look at this. Like, it's in my cuticle. There's bits missing. It's a mess. Let's be real. It's a mess. And I know there's plenty of y'all out there. You're like, my nails don't look like this when I use Doyle forms. Good for you. Good for you. Applause. But mine do, okay? And I don't like how skinny they look. Like my ring finger there. I don't know. This one I like the best. My thumbnail here, which I ended up having to kind of shape myself. But right here on most of my nails, in the main part, your biggest stress point on your nails, there's chunks missing. So I've got my forms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a form on each of these nails. I'm going to show you right quick here. And I'm just going to shape it to my nail, give it a good stiletto shape right under exactly how the nail already is. But I'm going to apply a little bit more polygel, fill in those bare areas, especially in that stress area. We don't want that having a pit, a hole, a dent, anything. No, we don't want none of that anywhere near that. So I'm just going to take some polygel, and I'm using way too much here. Ignore that. Okay. Am I though? Because that's another thing about Doyle forms is I feel like the nail's way too thin, you know, if you're doing a longer nail. So I don't know. I'm not mad at putting a little extra something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rambly today. I'm sorry if that's bothering you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to shut up for a minute and let you see what I'm doing. P.S. This polygel, the glitter ones, are very sticky. I'm having to dip into my alcohol a lot. I think a typical slip solution, which often has, how do I want to say this? Emollient type, emollients of some sort in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, would have worked better. But but I'm going to say that this is not any different than any other highly packed glitter polygel that I have used. So it's not this brand in particular. Highly packed glitter, or especially shimmers. Oh my goodness, like they are a pain. They're so sticky. They're best, honestly, I would recommend a base coat when you're working with a polygel like this, because it doesn't dry up. It slips right along it much easier. So just putting that in there, or out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got me. Okay, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the rambly whatever attitude today. I apologize. So right off the bat, I already feel better about this. You can see the difference in the dual form nail and then the one I used the sculpting form on. I fixed that pit. It's already going to be much stronger. It's going to last much longer. There is much less chance of breakage. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones this way. So here's the second nail I've fixed, and you can see, you know, if we put both of them up against the middle finger, they look much better. So let's fix that middle finger. I tried to do this with a dual form. I tried to come up with a way, like, look, if you don't have sculpting forms, here's a way to fix it with a dual form. You know, if you got the regular round ones and you did a stiletto nail, and there still is, you could put polygel in that dual form, press it up against the nail, and then cure that, and then shape it yourself. However, because dual forms hate me, and I don't like them, it didn't work out. So I was like, I'm just going to keep going with the sculpting form. So that's what I did here. We filled in all those little pits and holes and whatnot. And this is the last nail I'm doing that on, and we are moving right along from there. So I started out doing the filing shaping bit here on camera, and it was just like, look, I got to be right up close. I got to look at what I'm doing. So I went ahead and filed off camera, and this is what they look like after I've done that. After we filed and shaped, you definitely want to buff, especially if you use anything you use. You want to make sure you buff afterwards. If you have like scratches and stuff in your nail that you can see, that's why you want to take a finer grit, give it a good buff. And then, of course, I'm going to clean that dust away. And then we're going to clean off with some alcohol. And then we're going to top coat and see what we've got. This top coat is so pretty. Oh my gosh, already. And here we are with the final results. So, what do you think? I've got a little bit of stuff there. I guess I missed filing, but all in all, not too bad. Yes, I guess you could say I cheated by fixing it, but it wasn't a cheat, okay? I was just showing people, you know, if you use stiletto nail forms and you have the problems I had, which were chunks missing out of an important part of my nail structure, how we can fix that. So, and I got a bubble there. I don't know. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, these are them. So listen, if you like this video, if you like the idea of the channel, please give it a like. Look, the only thing missing, this is why I don't like dual forms. There's no apex. And that's another thing. I'm going to pop a video up right now. If you haven't saw my apex video, it's an old one, but I'm going to put it up there. So don't forget to like. I'll see you soon.
I got the goods for you haters. I just stick to the rules. And when the mouths blow, load a silver bullet and shoot. I'm like, let's get rich.